Welcome once again to Bonita Media. Call me Boniface Owino. If at all we are meeting for the first time, please don't forget to take a minute to go down there. You can click the subscribe button. You can also like it. You can as well share. And the main thing is drop me a comment in the comment section. You can tell me where you're watching this video from and how this video are reaching you. If you're within the counties, I normally say, you can tell me which part of the country are you watching from, which county. County 001, 002, 010, like that, 047, 41. I'll be very glad to know. And if at all you are outside the country, you can as well tell me which country are you watching from. You can also drop me the flag of the country where you're watching from, so that I can also figure out which country are you watching from. And as I normally say, that feedback is normally the key thing in any form of communication. Let me appreciate those who have already subscribed, those who have joined this family. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Asanteni sana. Now, I've got two things to talk about. Number one, yesterday there was a meeting at State House with the governors. All the governors went except Cecilia Barire. Of course, we know that there is this narrative of impeaching her. I don't know how it's going to come to end, or what's going to happen, but that is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this issue of John Mbadi. John Mbadi yesterday was at the Parliament. The Senate was being asked questions, was answering questions at the Senate. And I heard John Mbadi speaking. Listening to John Mbadi, there's a statement that he said. He talked about two things. Number one, John Mbadi talked about the issue of payment, salaries.
Economic shutdown led to slowed economic growth in the country and failed meeting of our targets in terms of revenue collection. But we also did not conclude with IMF the 9th review. So we lost 765 million US dollars going to budgetary support. As we speak, the World Bank's funding, or BOP, seems to be going to July, because one of the things is that some of the legislations that were precedent to the release of these funds, Mr. Speaker, delayed in the legislative process. The conflict of interest bill was a key bill for World Bank to give us the funding. And when it was unlocked, there was no time to take our approval to the board. Now you see we are going to June 30th with 97 billion hole that I did not prepare for as Cabinet Secretary. Now, these are challenges, Mr. Speaker, which inhibit our release of funds. Even when sometimes National Assembly puts pressure on me on CDF, I don't even know what to do, because the resources are constrained and we have to balance needs. Do you pay salary, or you release money to CDF and release money to counties? Do you pay salaries, or you stop paying salaries? Those are questions that you have to ask. You have debts to pay. You must pay those debts. If you default, the implication for our economy is dire. Remember, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, the reason why we have tried very hard to make sure that we meet our obligations. There were 6 countries that were mentioned in 2021 by IMF as candidates for restructuring, as candidates for default. 5 have defaulted. It's only Kenya which has survived. Angola has defaulted, Ethiopia has defaulted, Ghana has defaulted, Chad has defaulted, and Zambia has defaulted. 5 economies out of 6, only Kenya has survived. I would want to urge and request this Honorable House to help support me, support the government, support my ministry, so that we don't fall to where these our contemporaries have fallen. And I am confident we are not going to fall there. That is why sometimes you see some challenges, but we'll outlive these challenges, Mr. Speaker, with your cooperation.
And listening to John Mbadi asking question that I don't know who to pay. Like John Mbadi is saying that he still doesn't know who to pay. So if you don't know who to pay, are we the people who are supposed to tell you that John Mbadi, pay these people, these are people that are supposed to be paid? Are you asking us, literally, are you asking us who to pay? It is so much shameful. Number 2, I heard him asking, saying that this is the worst year. And imagine John Mbadi saying that this has been the worst year in history.
As we speak, We have paid up to end of April all the monies to all counties. But we have May still outstanding. And of course, we have June. And we have that constraint. Honorable Speaker, this year particularly, I think has been a terrible year. Apart from the fact that we had that economic shutdown, and I want honorable members to listen to me on this. Apart from the economic shutdown that we had for almost 2-3 months.
You have 1 minute, Honorable CS, to...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. If you could add me 2 so that I could do 3, just to explain this bit. The economic shutdown led to slowed economic growth in the country and failed meeting of our targets in terms of revenue collection. But we also did not conclude with IMF the 9th review. So we lost 765 million US dollars going to budgetary support. As we speak, the World Bank's funding, or BOP, seems to be going to July. Because one of the things is that some of the legislations that were precedent to the release of these funds, Mr. Speaker, delayed in the legislative process.
William Samoei is saying that this one has been the best year. Okay, on this, I can trust John Mbadi. Because there is one thing I came to learn or realize, that any moment you listen to William Samoei Ruto and you hear William Samoei Ruto saying something positive, trying to say something, maybe which might look like it's positive, try to look at that statement very keenly. You'll come to realize that that thing is opposite of what he's saying. If you hear William Samoei Ruto saying that this one has been the best year, question yourself too much. Just question yourself and know that William Samoei Ruto is really lying. Because what is normally good in William Ruto's side is normally bad on the side of Kenyans. So John Mbadi saying that this one has been the worst year, I concur with him. Actually, this one has been the worst. This one has been the worst financial year. Like the past year, and this one has been the worst. The government is doing what Kenyans doesn't want. They are forcing issues that like you're just looking at this thing and saying that this thing should not be forced, but the government is really forcing it. They really want it to work. We know very well that this thing cannot work, but they are forcing it. They're literally forcing things to work, things that we also know that cannot work. Something that's very much shameful. I also heard Sifuna telling him that he's trying to take credit from the Gen Zs of the payment and reducing taxes. Yeah, the Gen Zs are the ones who are supposed to be praised because they really push them.
To address one question, Honorable Speaker, we have had the ministry, actually the CS himself, taking credit that this year's finance bill has no new taxes. But I know it's credit to the Gen Z who have struck the fear of God in this government. They will not attempt to bring new taxes. What are you doing about existing taxation, Cabinet Secretary, that you found, including the housing levy, the increase in pay, and VAT on fuel that has seen the cost of taxes on a liter of petrol exceeding the cost of the product? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Actually, the people that are supposed to be praised are the JCs because of what they've been doing online. So this government is a rogue. I don't know if we should call it a rogue government. I don't know which term, the exact term that we should use on this government. But truth be told, that if there is the worst government ever, I think we can talk about this. This one has been the worst government ever in history. I don't know what to think. That is just my thought. I don't know what to think at the comment section. Maybe just let you know. Let you also tell me what you think at the comment section. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Sifuna. Bingo.